Doki doki ooh woo. All my heart's for you, my wonderful fiance, Seamus. Oh my lord and pancake, it's Mem.
Good morning, friends! Welcome back to the kitchen. Seamus, congrats on the official first. Wazo was second, and Miri on third. Thank you guys for getting your daily self-care check-ins. Josh, thank you for the resubscription. You need to tell me what color ornament you would like. Mem, hi. Carrie, hi. Josh, hello. Welcome in, everybody. How is everyone doing on this fine, fucking cold day? It is... Well, it was a balmy -2 Fahrenheit. I think we're up to 0. See the candy and goodies, or how it's done rather? Let's go. So candy cane cookies, laborious. They are an act of tedium. Yes, so when I'm on my main just chatting screen, I have little graphical ornaments that I've been putting up with the names of people who've subscribed. So whatever color you want, I can make it happen. Ugh, that's the worst, Miri. Go get that food. Yeah, so candy canes, Candy canes are one of the 2 cookies where I literally have to just like laser focus in on them. And because of that, I have like no ability to really pay attention to chat while that's going on. So I'll be bringing the camera in like right here so you can really see what I'm doing and watch the process. But when I'm actually forming the candy canes, my interaction with chat is going to be very limited. Light blue, you got it, Josh. You got it. Light blue for Josh. I think I was putting him on the back of this. I was. So to date, we've made 91.5 dozen cookies. That's 1,098 cookies. I need to make at least another 16 dozen, but I can already tell you I will get exactly 125 bonbons because I count out the gumdrops and make an even number of each. So I'm making 25 of each color gumdrop. The question is if I get exactly the number of candy canes I need or if I get a little less or a little more. Because I never know. I never know with these recipes how even my technique is gonna be. I forget how many I got last year, but I know it was at least 8 dozen. So, in theory, 1 batch makes approximately 4 dozen. We make 2 batches because then we can just dye 1 entire batch red and leave the other batch not dyed, which gives us the red and white striping. And the way the candy cane cookies work is we're gonna have white dough and red dough, essentially. And you make little balls of each that you roll into a snake, and then you twist them together and form them into the candy cane on the tray, bake them, and as soon as they come out of the oven, so there's gonna be like a lot of running back and forth, and I will show you as much as I can of over at the table where we do the second part. But because it has to be fast, I don't know how much I'll swing it. Did you seriously already solidify? I just fixed this. So I make this every few years. It's just sugar and candy cane dust, like crushed candy canes. I had to change it from a solid block into not a solid block, but this is what gets dusted over the top of them while they're still hot. And because they're still hot, it slightly melts the sugar content and it sticks to the cookies, which is why they have to come off the tray damn near immediately, which often results in a lot of swearing because the cookies don't come out of the oven solid. Like fresh hot cookies, as you may have experienced if you've ever eaten a fresh hot cookie or you've microwaved a cookie, they're kind of soft and they're prone to breaking. And I can't tell you the number of these fucking cookies that I have broken trying to get them off the fucking tray. And then I'm just like inherently angry at myself and the cookies. Like, how dare they need to just behave. So there will probably be much swearing. I'm going to show you this now just because, like I said, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to swing the camera. But to facilitate what we're going to do, there is tin foil under the cooling racks because that's going to allow any of the extra sugar to just fall onto something I can easily pick up. The tin foil will remain in place for the bonbons because if you think the candy canes are messy, wait till you see the bonbons where we have to dip each individual bonbon in icing and let it drip and sprinkle it with sprinkles. Which I believe in some places is called shot. And it used to be called shot here, at least in some areas way back in the day, because that's what it's called in my cookie book. Way better than you being inherently angry at you. Oh my goodness, I would not be angry at you for something that the cookies are doing. So both of these recipes, even though I have written them down onto my recipe cards. Both of them originally come from Betty Crocker's Cookie Book, which, if you were here last time, you've already heard this, but this book was originally published in 1963. These are old recipes. So the bonbons, which I know are the last one I have marked, are specifically the best cookie of 1955 to 1960. So there's the bonbons. It is a window and not a black void. It is, indeed. It's just been a black void because it gets dark so early. Welcome back, Mary. So those cookies date way, way back. And it has historical highlights, which I find fascinating. 1957, Sputnik the 1, the first man-made satellite launched by Soviet scientists. 1959, Alaska and Hawaii were proclaimed the 49th and 50th states. And 1959 is also when the St. Lawrence Seaway opened. So the best of cookies have those little things. And we may eventually have to try more of these because, of course... Oh, I didn't know that they had a chocolate chip cookie recipe from between 1935 and 1940, and it has nuts in it. Why? No, I would skip that part, but it looks similar to what I already make. I didn't know there was a brownie recipe back there too. Clearly, I've looked at this and not paid attention to this. But yeah, the oldest cookies, they have the best cookie of the 1880 to the 1890 called Hermits. So maybe we'll try those at one day. Just to see, because why not? And they have a picture of all the best of. I love this cookie book, if you can't tell. So like, we can try making most, if not all of those at some point. Exactly, no nuts in my cookies. The most amazing human being on the planet was born. Oh my gosh, Seamus. Talk to your Grams about collecting your Grams cookie recipes into a booklet to print out for the family. I love that, Mary. I think that is a fabulous idea. So then, I don't even know if I have the candy canes marked. So let me find where those would be. They're going to be in the holidays. Cookie Primer Holiday Cookies. Christmas starts on page 31. Honestly, I think part of why this book is such a gem to me is the fact that I make so many of the recipes out of here and enjoy them. I can't tell you the number of cookbooks I have that, like, they're good, but I like 2 recipes out of the whole freaking thing. I feel like it's so rare to find a cookbook that has a lot of things that you like. Candy cane cookies, I don't have it marked. So this kind of gives you an idea of how they're twisted and everything. So that's where they are in the book. That's what they look like in the book. Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. So yeah, candy cane cookies they're a struggle. They've always been a struggle. And they always will be a struggle. But they're so delicious and I can't stop myself from making them. Every year, I swear, every year, Seamus is like, you know, you don't have to make the candy canes. And I'm like, no, Seamus, I do. Amazing threadless t-shirt that was something like, stupid raisins, stay out of my cookies. I feel that. And yet, I also like raisins in some cookies. Like, I prefer my oatmeal cookies with raisins in them. And I'm going to make cranberry orange oatmeal. I'm gonna make them with craisins. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I have so many ideas for baking streams for this coming year. I feel like I need to plan out the entire year right now. Like, that's how much I would like to bake more with you guys. And I hope you're here for it, because all of it. Come in here before breakfast. Hello, Case. How do I not have an auto shout out for you, Case? What the hell? Well, I'm gonna fix that. Craisins are better than raisins, fair. Double shout out for Case to make up for the lack of an auto one. We don't need that kind of toxicity here. The joy of raisins, or the lack of a joy for raisins, bubbly. The ass events. It was too much. It's fair. So I took out the butter I'm gonna need for the candy cane cookies earlier, so it's nice and soft, but not like melting. Because I don't want to not have it out. Pull that up. We're gonna need this guy, and this guy, and these guys. And I don't think I used my cookie scoop for this. Maybe not. Maybe I have in the past. So I need that. And I'm gonna need bowls from down there in a little bit. But we need butter, we need shortening. Come here, Crisco. Ophelia, hi! Wait a minute, it didn't do Ophelia's auto shout out either, did? Oh, nope, it did. She spoke up here. This is not Rummy. Oh yeah, Seamus said, yeah, that's true. We don't need that kind of negativity. Pepperoni, where were you for the 2 hours this morning that I was doing fuck all? We could have played some Rummy then, but no, somebody was still asleep. What do you do if you are ready to bake but forgotten to soften your butter? There is a trick. And the trick case, I'll probably need those too, so. Is a cheese grater. You can grate your butter, and by making it into smaller flakes, you instantly soften it. So if you forgot to take your butter out and you need to soften it up, grate it. I might need these too. Goodbye, Crisco packaging. Double chocolate fudge peppermint cookies. Those sound delicious, Ophelia. All the leftover dough got made into cookie canes that look like those. I love that. I love that, Robin. I have the tricks. You carefully microwave it. You can try the microwave method. You just have to be super careful to not get the melty, like where it's actually liquefied, because liquid butter behaves differently in a recipe than solid butter. Never thought of grating? I learned it from YouTube. Yours doesn't have the option. Yep, you can also put boiling hot water in a bowl, then dump the water out and tip the bowl over the top of your sticks of butter and let them sit for a little bit, and that will help soften it. If you don't have a grater, you don't want to be bothered to grate your butter. Listen, there's nothing wrong with keeping your appliances until they literally will not function anymore, because that's how I like to do it. I keep my cars until then. I keep my cell phones until then, much to the chagrin of many an appliance salesperson. Hold on to that in case I need it. So we'll need Crisco. Oh, I gotta get eggs out. I'm gonna need eggs. Thankfully, I only need eggs for this recipe, so I should have 2 left over to do I don't know what with. Eggs. Almond extract. So this is not, oh, that's lemon. This is not for the people who are allergic to nuts, and I'm gonna need my new almond extract. Is that over here? Or did I put it on the shelf? It's on the shelf, and I can put this one away actually while I'm at it. Because I only use lemon for the one. The bowl idea is great. You're impressed? That's what we're here for, Case. And my Discord and my DMs are always open if you have questions as you're going, and so long as I have the ability to answer, I will. Should you ever find yourself in a conundrum. Baking is alchemy. I like that baking is alchemy better than baking is chemistry. Because it's 70 degrees today. I wish it's -9 for you, Miri. Yeah, it was -2 this morning, and I think we're up to exactly 0. What does my phone say? Oh, it's a whole 6 degrees Fahrenheit outside, you guys. Oh, shit. I don't have any DMs about Rummy Pepperoni. I will go look right now. Look at that. Nothing. 0 DMs about Rummy. 0. 0 DMs, 0 texts, 0 snaps. Don't fuck with me. Yes, I believe Miri is in Canada. It's witchcraft? I'm okay with witchcraft too. Negative. Holy shit. It sounds so much worse in Celsius. Okay. We also need vanilla. You need both the extracts. Okay, that one's still doing good. I basically, when I bake my Christmas cookies, I basically use an entire 4-ounce bottle of vanilla. You refuse to go to Costco? I don't blame you. This close to the holidays, like, good luck finding butter. We need flour. Food coloring, red, of which I have the giant gel bottle. It's 51 in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, man. Man. I think Pepperoni said it best. That's Rigatoni Panini for people who don't understand all of the nicknames that he has. This morning on Snap when he sent it to me, and I think it was exactly 0 in his snap, and he was like, this is February weather in December, and I'm not okay with it. That's exactly the mood. We need salt, and we need confectioner sugar. So the interesting thing about both this one and the bonbon recipe is instead of using granulated sugar, it uses confectioner sugar. You're having a wet winter season? Oof. At opening and said it was absolutely bananas. I believe it. It's been weird weather in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for weird weather. I just want it to normalize, but I can't remember if weather.com said we're in an El Nino or a La Nina weather pattern. But I know we're in one of them because it, like, we cycle through them here and there. La Nina? Okay. And you know, in like 4th grade or some shit, 6th grade, back when I was like 11, we learned what the difference between those was. Do you think I remember that at this point in my life? Absolutely fucking not. I just know it fucks up the weather pattern. I can't remember which one makes it colder than usual and which one makes it warmer than usual. I save all of my knowledge for baking. Okay, so it calls for 1 cup of shortening, but half of it being butter. So that means you use a half a cup of shortening. And this one looks like the package is on there pretty well. For those who don't realize what I'm talking about, I look at the corner to see, ooh, hello. Let me block the glare a little bit. I look to see how far around the corner the marking goes, because sometimes the packaging on the Crisco bars is so far off you have to guesstimate where you actually need to slice the stupid thing. It's like 57% could go cold wet and 43% the other way. Physics is still working on that. Oh, physics, come on, go the right way. You haven't had rain in months? That's not good. That's not good. We need California to get at least periodic rain to help with the potential for fires. So half a cup Crisco and 1 stick of butter in America is half a cup. So half a cup of both. Slice. Close enough. They're never quite perfectly even, but I always look just to see. So Crisco in the bowl. Because you mix the shortening, the sugar, the egg, and the flavorings thoroughly first. Yeah, see, this is almost, you can see it's getting like shiny. This is almost to the too far point where it's like melty. Which surprises me because the apartment right now is struggling to get up to temperature. Like, we keep our apartment around 71 and it doesn't want to get above 69 because it's so bloody cold. Like over here, yeah, 69 on this side too. A rain donation drive, right? You've been drowning? Oh no. I never want to use a full block of butter. I freeze it and just pull out a stick at a time. Yep, exactly. Exactly. I like sticks. I don't freeze mine, but I do like sticks. All right, we need a cup of confectioner's sugar, which that's this measuring cup. We're gonna need 2.5. Yeah, I'll just use the big guy. And it does call for it to be sifted, but let me tell you what I don't give a shit about doing. Sifting. So 1 cup sifted confectioner's sugar. If you care about sifting, you can. I don't. Set to 68 during the day, and that's fair. 68 is a very reasonable, acceptable, and typical temperature. The reason we keep it a little warmer is because being an old building, it doesn't heat evenly. And being somebody with an autoimmune disease that fucks with my lizard brain section, my body doesn't always know how to keep temperature properly for itself. So if I'm not like super actively up and moving, sometimes my body is like, you're freezing. And I look at the thermometer, I'm like, it is 76 degrees in here. What do you mean I'm freezing? I don't know who designed this, but the bag is stuck to like the bottom of the box, like it's glued on. Who does that? Needs a little bit more. Sifting is for better mixing, yeah. Yep, so that you have like less lumps. But since I have a stand mixer, that takes care of a lot of the sifting for me, in my opinion. And back in the day, you needed to sift to break up the lumps because shit wasn't as finely sifted out of the factory as it is today. The only other reason to sift is if you need to like super aerate your recipe. It puts some air into the ingredients. But if your friends don't sift, well, they're still friends of mine. Let's go, Miri. For a smoother batter, yeah. need to use them as long as the kitty's comfy. As long as the kitty's comfy, you're good. You need a stand mixer now? Yeah, stand mixers are great. So 1 cup. That I'm gonna try to not end up with all over my face like I did the flour the other night. An egg. 1 egg. Large, preferably. I'll say it again, I say it every time. If you trust yourself to not put a ton of eggshell in the recipe, you can do like I do and just crack it over the bowl. If you don't trust yourself, or if you're using farm fresh eggs, crack it into a separate bowl. Fish out any shell that you need to, and then pour it in. And the reason why you do that with farm fresh eggs is just because usually there's a rooster in there. And you need to make sure there's no blood spots, because blood spots means fertilization and you should not eat it. In brown eggs, it's just weird. Yeah. With store-bought, I have not found blood spots. So 1 egg, shortening sugar, egg, and flavoring. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of almond extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Pull these off. How much salt am I gonna need? A teaspoon. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna... Yep, I'm not gonna actually need my measuring cups, the stainless steel ones. So we'll start with the almond. There it is. One. And a half. We've got probably enough for like 1 more teaspoon out of that. And then we need 1 of vanilla. Oh, the bliss of the smell of vanilla. Forever and ever. If I ever tell you that the scent of vanilla extract, like pure vanilla extract, does not smell good, please send a search and rescue team for me. I have been kidnapped and I'm under duress. Okay, so there's our extracts. Mix thoroughly. I just want to get most of the confectioner's sugar. Whack, 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 whack. Moistened.
We trust you will be a great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Asset.
Who's being a great asset? Papa Smurf! Thank you for the bits. Welcome in. How are you, friend? I should have known you're the only one who enters like that. How's it going? Doing good. Did I boot up Lethal Company? I did not. I've booted Lethal Company, I think, since like New Year's Eve last year. I look forward to looking at them, Robin. Candy cane cookies. We're making candy cane cookies. Okay. Nice and mixed. Whack it off. Set it down because we'll need it again. You've never had those? They're so good. The thing I love about the recipe for the candy canes and the bonbons using the confectioner sugar instead of granulated sugar is because you're basically taking frosting and making it into cookie dough. And it's fucking delicious. Okay, then you mix the flour and the salt and you stir it into the mixture. So we need 2.5 cups of flour, technically sifted, but again, I don't give a fuck. And it's just all-purpose flour. It should be about 2.5. Let's shake it out and see where we're at. 2.5. And how much salt? I said a teaspoon, right? A teaspoon of salt. Now here's the thing. I am using salted butter. So if I'm a little less than this teaspoon, it's not a big deal because I'm using salted butter. And that's about what I usually do. It's just a little less. And then to mix it, I just shake it, shake it, shake it. There we go. In it goes. Ka-thunk. And then not wearing the flour, we will premix. I made that mistake with the sugar cookies this year. Many of you were probably here to witness that, because I figured there was enough of a dough load when we went to add the second of 3 additions of the flour that I didn't have to premix it at all, and I was wrong. Scrape those edges for me. That'll do. Perfect. So with this recipe and the bonbon recipe, it takes a little while to get through the dough. If the dough, and this goes for most recipes actually, if you're working with a dough and it starts to get dry, you can try adding water to moisten it back up. But what works way better than water is actually milk, because you get the fat content too, and it's a better form of hydration for the dough. Esiclis, thank you for getting your daily self-care check-in. Ass setup. Ass setup. Case. So the only shout outs that should show up on my end should be the ones that you do the slash command for. Otherwise, anything that's just an exclamation point shouldn't show up. Okay, so that's dough number 1. We get to do it one more time. But first I have to grab out a bowl. Grab both of the bowls. I need my spatula. There we go. Because this is our white dough, the one we're leaving alone to be the white part of the candy cane. And then we're gonna make one more, and we're going to get it with red food coloring. I will absolutely, at periodic points of the day while working with this dough, have to rehydrate with milk. According to my aunt, my grandmother never had to do that. To this day, I have no idea how she managed it. I never had the opportunity to bake these cookies with her. There's also the possibility, though, and this is a very real possibility, that my aunt just never saw her and her friend use milk to rehydrate the dough or any other such technique. Because it's not like my aunt was in the kitchen with them baking the whole time. She was just around for some of it. And for the bulk of the years, she wasn't there at all. So, Just gonna toss it to get it to really come together. It's kind of like how you wedge clay, but not as forceful. Milk and pancake mix and blew his mind. What do you mean blew his mind? Who? Well, I guess if you're making Bisquick mix pancakes, you use water, but like who doesn't use milk and pancake mix? That's my mind-blowing thing. People use water for that? There's my saran wrap. Set it and forget it. You know, that's the way it goes. My hydration app agrees that milk is more hydrating. There you go. So to try and preserve whatever moisture we can in the dough, we're gonna cover it with saran wrap. I'm gonna pull the bowl out so I don't stick the bowls, rude, the bowls together with the saran wrap. And I'm actually going to gently, for right now, press the saran wrap in a bit to keep as much air out as I can while also sticking it to the edges of the bowl and sealing it. So it looks a little bit wild, but by keeping out as much air as I can, it means that the dough retains as much moisture as it can. And then we set it off to the side, out of the way. You know what? The counter sounds like a great idea. And then we do it again. Milk or water for the tomato soup when I was there this week. Do you even need to add, right? Cinnamon and a wee bit of nutmeg and then his brain melt. That sounds really, really good, Case. Yeah, milk is more hydrating than water. But you don't want to be drinking milk while you're running a marathon because you will vomit. Because there's also all the fat and everything. So now we need the other half of the Crisco. Bloop. In that goes, we need our wipe my fingers off paper towel. One more stick of butter. And then we need to pre-open the other almond. Okay, there's no tab. God, I love the smell of almond extract too. We're gonna try for the teaspoon first. I'll get the confectioner's sugar in a minute. I was right, exactly 1 teaspoon left. No, this one goes with this one. Put that over there for a rinse. Where's my half? There's my half. Half a teaspoon. I haven't made tomato soup in a minute either. Probably because as a kid, I struggled with tomato soup, or so I thought. Teaspoon of vanilla. Did I switch hands? Yes. Yes, I did. Please ignore that. I swap my hands back and forth for what does what quite frequently. I wanted to be a left-handy kiddo, and my mom was like, it is a right-handed world. You absolutely will not be left-handed, which she's not wrong, but the sentiment exists to this day. But I completely derailed. Oh, tomato soup. When I was a kid, we did grilled cheese and tomato soup, and when I got diagnosed with IBS, I started to struggle. Ooh, and I initially associated the struggle with the tomato soup, not with the grease factor of the grilled cheese. And so I just kind of got out of the habit of eating tomato soup. Yeah, it's 1 cup. The acid is terrible for it. Yeah, the acid can be a struggle for it, but I think for me it was a combination of the acid plus the grease, because I can have tomato soup in a small amount by itself. I just can't do it with the grilled cheese, really. When I was over for dinner, she was having chicken noodle for some reason. Grilled cheese goes with tomato, exactly. Oops, I almost forgot we need our egg. Ugh. Come hither, egg. And then I can put those back in the refrigerator. Would you like to come off of there, egg snot? No? Okay. Let me put the eggs away, because that just is one less thing on my island in my vicinity. Give it a premix. Yeah, the grease is a major extra factor, right? I didn't know you had IBS, Case. I didn't know we were fellow suffering individuals with the lack of being able to necessarily eat super good food because our guts can't fucking behave. Although you apparently have a different set of symptoms than I do, because caffeine is one of my triggers. I can't have the glory that is coffee. And sometimes I choose to suffer for hot cocoa. You refused? Historical soup class at one of the civic museums, we made tomato soup with heirloom tomatoes. Miri, that sounds phenomenal. I make tomato soup out of a can. Well, at this rate, I make it out of a box. But still. No coffee. I can't even drink decaf coffee, so fun fact, decaf coffee doesn't mean no caffeine. It means less caffeine. So decaf doesn't even fly for me. I tried it because my favorite tea of all time, forever and always, is Earl Grey. I adore Earl Grey tea, and I so desperately wanted it. I tried decaf Earl Grey, and I regretted my life for a little while after that. I regretted it quite dearly. But I found through David's Tea, which is a Canadian company, they have an Earl Grey Rooibos, which makes it with rooibos leaves instead of black leaves, and that made it naturally caffeine free, and I can have it. I get my flavor of Earl Grey without the stomach woes of the caffeine, and it's just so wonderful. No heavy cheese or grease, no lasagna. Yeah, I suffer for lasagna. They have coffee flavored icing. Oh, I bet that's so good, Wazo. Is a Rooibos red? Yes, Rooibos reds are so good. Cinnamon Rooibos chai, yes! Yes, David's is so good. But I have to be very careful with David's tea, because another one of my triggers is stevia, and they have so many flavors with stevia in them. So many. 2.5 cups flour. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, stevia is just, It, not only does it irritate my IBS, it gives me cotton mouth. And it seems like there's not much of an in-between on stevia. Either you like it or you don't. I haven't met anybody yet who's basically indifferent. Salt. Shake to incorporate. In. So first we are going to get the dough to come together, and then we're going to color it red. For food allergies, you're mildly allergic to shellfish and extremely allergic to flax seeds. And oh, that's rough. Yeah, I can't do fake sugar at all either case. Mary, have fun. I hope you're able to catch the end, but if not, enjoy. Yeah, I can pick the aspartame out of anything as well, especially when I get the shits. Hi, crazy guy. They're all migraine triggers for you. Oof. Yeah, there's just something about aspartame and similar.
Excuse me, but she needs to talk to the manager immediately.
Allie, huh?
It's Dammit Karen, aka Allie.
That's not how your dough looked. Your dough didn't look like this. Next time you're baking, Allie, or trying to, you should video call me so that I can watch and help walk you through it. Because yeah, we've just basically made frosting for dough. Ugh, I didn't show you the last time. There it is. Send you everything. With Clover, yes! I don't know what Hot Frosty is. It makes fun of Hallmark movies? Oh, that sounds good. You would hate that, shucks. I'm not saying that you guys are on my cookie list, but like, your names might be on my cookie list. Yeah, I was actually baking my own cookies when you tried to call, Allie. I did respond. I think maybe like 15 minutes after you sent the message, because I hit a point of like break time. And I was like, oh no! So I'm just scraping it down into a pile for the red food coloring. Gel, because gel. 30 stream streak, crazy guy is streaking. Go shove some food into your face. The dough tasted so good. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Like, you think you got it all well and good, and then you don't. So I've had that happen to me twice. The first time, I was at my friend Rachel's house. We were 12 or 13, and her mother said that we could bake her grandmother's cookies. So we called her grandmother and we got the recipe and we tried 3 times, and all 3 times it ended up like that. Not good. So we ended up with no cookies. The second time I had, oh my God, and this is, what a tale. I have a tale to tell you guys. The second time I had somebody who I had met in college, massage school college, over to bake her Christmas cookies. I promised I would help her. So in addition to the 80 billion dozen that I made for myself to give away, I also helped her make 68 dozen that year. And her sugar cookie recipe did exactly that. And so I was like, fuck this recipe. I don't know what's wrong with it. And we just swapped it out for my sugar cookie recipe and got her through. She was the kind of individual that I have come to dislike immensely because she was like the weird friend in school who you could definitely tell she needed therapy. She had a little bit of a narcissistic vibe, and she and I, like, we were always okay in school. We obviously were okay after school, and then not long after I helped her bake all of those cookies, she just ghosted myself and like everybody else and started making the weirdest posts on Facebook about how she was removing the problems from her life. She was in therapy and recognizing the issues. And I'm like, bitch, I just helped you bake 68 dozen cookies. What are you talking about? So that was an adventure in two-facedness. I was just like, what? Took me totally by surprise. Especially because by that time, I was basically living full-time with Seamus, but I was still baking at my parents' house. So it was an extra effort to go over there at an extra day to help her bake. And it meant I also took a day out of my schedule to help her bake. But I was a toxic friend, you guys. Fucking wild. People are wild, right? That you can't hear the KitchenAid. So I have filters set up so that the mic will not allow certain sounds to come through. If I keep it on low speed, sometimes you can hear it. For the most part, actually, I can just get it into the bowl and then you'll see it. This is gonna be a little bit more malleable because it does have the food coloring in it, but since it doesn't have liquid food coloring, it has gel, it doesn't get quite as wet. Something I encountered in the past when I was using liquid food coloring versus gel is that however much liquid food coloring I put in the red dough, I had to put an equal amount of water or milk into the white dough so that they were the same consistency. Otherwise, one was like dry cracking and breaking and the other one was super hydrated and it just didn't fucking work. Oh, those were the days of suffering. Those were also the days of suffering standing to do all of this work. You kind of can see it back here. I have a chair that I will be sitting my ass into in due time while I roll these out. I swap between sitting and standing now when I do these because that's important. Wow. Bring it together. Get out little air bubbles. So yeah, now we've got beautifully red dough. Keeping up the lurk while you play Rivals? Yay, cookies! Go enjoy your Rivals, Allie. Thank you so much for the lurk. Ass into, wait, into what chair? Wait, got it. Good thing, good timing putting headphones back in. Yes, good timing with the headphones indeed. Because it's definitely not my ass getting into trouble. I do that enough otherwise. Okay, more saran wrap just to get it covered and to have the ability to keep it covered while I work on these. Because yeah, we've got the dough together. But now we have to assemble the cookies, and this is where the real struggle begins. Oh, I should let you guys know. I posted it on my Facebook. I think I made mention of it in Case's stream, but I didn't actually tell you guys. So yesterday for the solstice, because it was also Saturday, and that's a day that the alley I bowl on a league at has open bowling available. Originally, I wanted to go in the morning, but they had a juniors tournament going on, so could not go in the morning. So went in the afternoon. Early evening, late afternoon, about 4 p.m. Took my dad. Seamus came with us. Seamus came to cheer me on and heckle my dad, which was it's extremely acceptable, okay? So the first game doesn't count because it was purely a warm-up game. We both did absolutely atrocious. Did he beat me the first game? Yes. Was it a score to be proud of? No, not even close. Both of us bowled well under our averages for the first game. But you got to get your hand warmed up and everything, which is why leagues have usually 5 to 10 minutes of practice where you just get to throw the ball and get your hand warmed up. We don't have that with open bowling. So anyways, I digress. Went bowling with Dad. In the second game, I proceeded to whoop his ass with my highest score ever at a 218. He got 205. I locked him out. He could not beat me. And by no means did he bowl bad. 205 is a very good game. But I whooped his ass. And then the third game, I proceeded to whoop his ass again. But this one was a little more punishing. I got a 192. And if he hadn't, so we were like neck and neck, trading one pin back and forth for who was in the lead for the third game. And I mean like literally neck and neck. We got to the 7th frame. It had been a series of strikes and spares between the two of us. And he left a split. And he couldn't get all the pins. He couldn't make the spare. And that was what sealed his fate. If he had gotten that spare, I think he probably could have overall won. But he couldn't. He didn't make it. And so I whooped his ass again, a 192 to a 178, which is extra embarrassing because my average is a 151 and his average is a 182. So I bowled well above my average and he bowled below his average. And I will never let him live that down. Because that's how we are in this family. To the point that I messaged my teammate on Facebook with the scores. And I had gone because I wanted extra practice. I'm aiming to get most improved in my league. And she replied back, wow, looks like your dad needs to practice more than you do. And I showed my dad that she said that and he flipped her off. So I took a picture of him flipping her off and we just died laughing in that message. It was so funny. This is the style of family and friends that I have. If you can't take a good ribbing, you probably won't survive very long. Posted a comment for me. I appreciate it, crazy guy. Yes, always get the hand warmed up. I am a badass sometimes, Case. It was a really good night. So we had fun bowling. And then we went out to eat and we had a nice dinner. Seamus and I exchanged gifts because we celebrate the winter solstice, so we make it our time for gift exchange because Christmas is kind of busy with family. So then we have like just some us time. I got some smutty books to read. Very excited. I got new thermometers for reading the temperature of what I'm baking, which is very important because I don't know if I told you guys about the Thanksgiving debacle with the meringue, but it turns out Seamus had thrown out my old thermometer without telling me because he couldn't save the mercury or whatever it is that's in there. I call it mercury, but it's the liquid. And I had to guess. So I got new thermometers. I'm very excited. I'll never discourage the smutty thinking. I know you won't. It's alcohol. Okay, so it's alcohol in there. Got it. At least you all know what I'm talking about when I say mercury. So yeah. I got that stuff. I got some funny shirts. One of them is a unicorn flipping everything off and it says eat an entire bag of dicks and I'm just here for it. I am here for it. Bring my little chair over. The other one has a toad and it says, "My tummy hurts and I'm angry at the government." Also hilarious. I got a new wax seal, which I love. So, all good things. You know what? I think I actually want to take the food scale and just put it over here and be completely out of the way. And I am going to need to actually be a little further down here. The alcohol one? Or the unicorn one, right? Right? Case would do very well with that shirt. Okay, so we're getting to the point where it's gonna be me forming candy canes. This is the long part of this process. I won't even get the oven turning up to temperature until I've got at least half of the tray ready to go. So we need a tray. That's helpful. It's very hard to put things onto a tray if you do not have said tray. So I'm actually gonna do it like this so I can form the candy canes the way I want, but when I come out. So I like to form them so that they go like this with the top up here, so that when I'm looking at them, they look proper. But when I go to take them off the tray, because I hold it like this, I need the J to be at the bottom so that I can get under it in the most delicate of manner where I can get the bulk of the cookie with the spatula. Words. I'm struggling with words. So I will, for the most part, sit for this. And actually, I think I'll have an easier time sitting if this isn't rocking on the fatigue mat. So I'm gonna slide that. The way you form these is you make, brought a ruler out for this, 4-inch long strips. And like I know approximately what an inch looks like, but 4 of those inches I struggle with. So I always get my ruler out so that I just have something for reference. It helps me immensely. I do not stand for the entirety of this because, like I said, we're gonna be here for like 4 hours. So oh my gosh, I think Seamus put the pin going upwards is catching in my baby hairs. But anyways, the only reason I don't use parchment paper is because I use air bake trays. I have absolutely debated on not using my air bakes for these and using regular cookie sheets with parchment so that I can just lift it up and off and put it onto the cooling racks. But I haven't made sure that I could actually lift them up without fucking them up. And I know I can, for the most part, do this now without fucking them up. Like I'm much better at it than I was in the past.
Oh
so
my
I just
goodness,
stick with the
that
tried and true.
stuffed animal alone, Dap.
Dap, hello, how are you? So this is the part where we're gonna basically enter into more of a focused mode where I'm gonna interact with chat a lot less because I need to just focus on rolling out tons and tons and tons of balls of dough. I'm doing good. So I'm actually going to close this book so that I can get a grip on the table, and I'm rolling balls. I want to bring you guys over here so that you can really get like a good view. Part of me is I adjust this on the fly. Fuck around and find out situation, the kitchen, right? Three should be good. So I'm gonna put the focus mode thing up on here. And I'm going to put up a message that I'm going to pin. Or if Shane, well, can I do it from Firebot? Can I pin it? Seamus, do me a favor and pin the message that I just put up indefinitely. That is the wrong message, Seamus. The other one, the one that came up after it. Thank you. You had one job, Seamus. Right? And I'm actually going to, so when I do this, I like to listen to a podcast. So, and I listen to medical podcasts. Oop. That is not what I intended to click on. I want those. Pair. Perfect. So I'm going to use my phone to listen to a podcast because that way I don't have to have multiple sounds coming out of one computer. And I guarantee that you guys aren't listening to what I'm listening. He's failed cookie disposal. Yeah, his job is safe. Yes, I wanted the due to the nature. Yes, that is correct. Suck on these nuts, Ollie. Oh my goodness. I need... Yep, that's the search I wanted. Go here. I forgot how annoying it can be to find things with your phone. Beautiful. Ooh. Sitting. What size do I need? One teaspoon of dough of each color. So actually, get the teaspoon back. Steak and eggs for breakfast, delicious. Go eat, bubbly. Ugh. Ugh, there we go. Oh, I might actually. 2. Three. Okay. I only take a few out at a time because of the moisture thing. Okay. That's like 3 inches. That's approximately 4. Okay. Oh, God damn it. Welcome to the struggle. Okay, so I might not be able to do these in a row like this. Or we'll do that. 6 across. That's good. Merry Winter Solstice, Dova. I do glance over at occasion. I dropped a little. Ophelia, thank you for the resubscription. What color ornament would you like? Because ads, yeah. Of an ornament. Yes. I'll show you in just a second when the ads finish. The ads reminded you. So, it's gonna be black, but on this. It's my way of highlighting the people who are supporting me. Because I do appreciate it. You don't have to, you choose to. And that's huge. So I just need to know what color ornament you'd like, Ophelia. Right, let me get these two on and then I gotta preheat the oven, I think to 375. Blue? You got it, blue. Okay. I gotta preheat the oven. $375 for 9 minutes. So we gotta bring it up to temp. Oh my god! The furnace made it to 71. It's a miracle. Which means I'm gonna raise it just 1 degree to keep ahead of the oven. Oh. Ugh. Ugh. Thank you, Carrie. Enjoy your day. Good luck. That's the big thing, Esiclus, the patience for these. Yes. It's very important to note that I adore these cookies in the flavor department. Iciclus. You and Seamus and the mooning. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh.
Ara ara.
Ara ara, Seamus. Mooning buddies. Okay, 6 more for this tray. Bop, 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 bop. And then I'm probably gonna need milk for the white dough. Opens up to temp, beautiful. Hello, Stab. Welcome in. Okay. Let me show you this. One complete tray, which is 2 dozen. We need 4 of these. What's Smeagol? Hi. Thank you. Yeah, because I need a total of 99. And I think 8 dozen exactly comes to 96. So I need, ooh, I need a little more than 8 dozen. Oh God, hopefully we don't have to make an extra batch. We'll find out. Yes, Schmoobles is crying at me. This was 8 minutes. 9 minutes. I need to back this chair up if you're gonna hit the table. Yes, hi, sweetie. Timer. 9. Okay. And we hit the start button. Hi, May. It's going. How about for you? Milk. Because the white dough is getting very dry. Ooh, peanut butter cookies are good. So all I'm gonna do make a little bit of a hole. This is a half tablespoon scoop. I'm not using a full half tablespoon because it really doesn't take a lot. And I'm gonna manually smush the milk in to help rehydrate this dough some. I am making candy cane cookies. I just put the first tray of 2 dozen in. I need to get a little more than 8 dozen total, so hopefully the amount of dough I has makes it that far. Otherwise, I have to try the arduous task of estimating a half. Okay, that makes the dough a little bit softer, more hydrated again.